All right. So two of our best selling products are the dock fillet table and the overhang fillet table. Mm-hmm. And I know the overhang fillet table is growing in popularity, but besides the obvious, right, what are the things someone should think about if they're trying to decide which one is best for their dock?
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of is just an obvious thing, right? I mean, the difference is, do you want the fillet table to take up more space on the dock or take up more of your docking space, right? Sure. Hanging out over the water. So you really kind of got to look at what your options are, what your space is, how you want to utilize it, right? You've already determined that you're not using something around it if you're going with one of those two options. So I would say, yeah, you really just got to look at the available space that you have in your dock, see if you can afford to lose some of the walking space on that dock, right? Maybe this is the back of a house and that's not such a problem. Maybe this is a finger dock where, it may only be 3-4 feet wide and you don't want 2 feet of table taking up your walk space.
Sure.
Then nobody's getting past you. So I would say, at that point, the overhang table is definitely going to be the winner.
I guess you could make an argument that the wash down is probably a little bit cleaner from a standpoint of
sure
getting all the gunk and blood and stuff. Be able to just blow it off and it go in the water is probably a significant thing.
Right. The overhang table definitely hangs out over the water. Most of the stuff that drains off it is going to go in the water and not necessarily on the dock. Maybe there's a slight overhang on the front, but you'll get far more on the dock.
Would you say the overhang is a more complicated install?
For sure. It's definitely a more challenging install. The mounting points for the overhang table kind of are like this. They're very close together. You have mounts going through the top and mounts going through the side. So we offer a spacer because some of your wood docks have a little bit of an overhang before you get to the support beam under there. So those spacers will fill that gap and you can run your lag screws into the wood. Now on a concrete dock, for example, I made a fillet table for my uncle as a housewarming gift when he bought his house in the Keys. And
it's a nice housewarming gift.
It was a great housewarming gift. He loves it. It's his favorite thing at the house. But, I went down and I actually installed it for him. And, it was the first time I was doing a concrete dock install. And so I said, okay, let's do this the right way. We went to Ace Hardware right down the street, picked up some concrete anchors, drilled out the holes, set the anchors in there and used machine screws to mount it down. Now that table's made it through Irma where it had 4 feet of water over the top of it and it's still there.
That is a good point to talk about that's relevant to both of them is we don't include the fasteners. We don't sell fasteners with it for mounting the fillet table to the dock, right?
To concrete, I would say.
Well, so do we include some lag screws? Are you sure
we
on
do.
that?
Yep.
Okay.
We have screws for wood docks, but we don't have screws for concrete docks.
Okay. Yeah, it's the tricky thing, right? Is it depends entirely on how you're going to mount it, right? I mean, in theory, if you could through bolt it, that's probably better, right?
Yeah.
But then you go, well, how long are the bolts
right.
that
how
you
thick
include?
Is your concrete?
Exactly. How thick is the concrete? What's the material? Mm-hmm. So, I think in most cases, it might require a trip to the hardware store to get the most optimal mounting stuff.
Right.
I wouldn't say that it's an intimidating project, though. No. I mean, we've had a lot of people do this. Everybody seems to be pretty happy with it. All of our customers, I mean, we've got a ton of 5-star reviews on this product. So don't be scared about it. It sounds
I don't think it's a complicated install. I think with the overhang thing, you gotta look at your profile of your dock and just make sure that you don't have anything weird going on. As long as you don't have anything weird going on, it's a reasonable. It's probably no different of an install.
The only difference is instead of being squatting down to put a screw down into the dock, you're laying on your stomach and leaning over the side to put a screw into the side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.